Hey guys, you know who I am. You know who you are. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Before any other video that I do, this is going to be a little rant, by the way, on just the gaming industry. But I'm glad to say that before I start that, I'll just a little bit of an update. Prince of Persia Let's Play is coming along pretty nicely. About halfway through the game. It's pretty awesome, right? Second Let's Play being done. Woo! Yeah. And yeah, I gotta do some political videos. Yeah, that'll be coming up soon. And I have one more part that I need to upload. I think it's part 11 of Let's Play POP, Sands of Time, Prince of Persia. But there's something that really pissed me off. I was watching this guy's video. And this guy's really hardcore Wheelo. I mean, like, Sony fan. I mean, not Sony fan. I mean, Nintendo fan. Like, whoa. I mean, like, he'll do anything to defend his system. And I said on my other, I don't know if I said this on my other videos, I don't hate Nintendo or Xbox. Gaming is gaming. If you like whatever you like, I respect that. I respect you wholeheartedly. I'll mention his name. I don't have any beef with the guy. He seems like a nice guy. I mean, he likes his Nintendo. That's fine. I love Sony. I prefer Sony over all the systems. But this guy, WeLover07, that's his name, said that all Sony has is shooters. That's ridiculous. That's just utterly false. That's utterly false. Really. God of War is a first-person shooter, right? Right. Ratchet and Clank is a first-person shooter. Sly Cooper is a first-person shooter. Really. Infamous 2 and Infamous 1 are first-person shooters. This guy is a dumbass. Let's just be frank. But that comment was absolutely false. And when he says that when he talked, another thing that he said was that if you don't think that games like, I don't know, Kirby is immature, you're not a gamer. That's ridiculous. I mean, if you look at there's so many different types of gamers out there. How could you classify one particular gamer type as non-gamers because your opinion, you like Nintendo. That's what type of gamer you are. You like Mario, you like Zelda. I like Sony. I like God of War. I like Infamous. I think they're unbelievable games. Xbox fans, sorry, like Halo. They like. It depends what you like. You can't say that the person's not a gamer because he likes a certain type of game. You know what I'm saying? You can't say just because he thinks that all these games are immature that he's. I think he has a point there. Do you think a 25-year-old should be playing Mario? I mean, do you think a 27-year-old should be playing little kiddie games like Kirby Epic Yarn? You get to fill in all the colors. I mean, come on. Not to say those games are bad; they're not challenging, but some people are hardcore gamers and they like games like Call of Duty. They like games like God of War. They like games like Halo. Just not to be biased, and not to say that I hate Nintendo. I love Nintendo. I'm the biggest Zelda fan. I'm playing Twilight Princess right now. I think it's one of the best Zelda games ever. I think it is. That's another thing. I'm like, what? Wind Waker is better than Twilight Princess? Really? I don't think so. I mean, I'm not saying that Wind Waker is a bad game. I mean, I'm sure it's a good game. It's a Zelda game. What could be bad, you know? I mean, Zelda is one of the best franchises ever. Just to show you I'm not biased towards with Sony. It's just when it comes to exclusive content, you know, when it comes to games that I'm going to want to play, Sony is the one. Sony is the system. PlayStation 3 is the system. I mean, do you see them? I mean, them selling barely any into GameCube games. I mean, they're selling them, but PS2 has been around for 10 years, and they're still selling PlayStation 2 games. You see them all over the place. It's not just one section. Come on. How could you possibly say that Sony, all they have is shooters? That's first-person shooters. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, come on. Uncharted, yeah, it's a shooter. It's a third-person shooter. But it's not just a third-person shooter. There's puzzles. There's, all different kind of mechanics in that game. Deciphering codes and all these really cool things. And last time I checked, I don't think any game on the Nintendo won 50 Game of the Year awards. Okay, it's considered one of the best games. I mean, of all the I saw all the reviews. Not to say that they're reliable necessarily, but I played it for myself, and I agree. All of them gave it like Game of the Year awards. Very close. It was on a top 10 list of games that year to be the best game of all time. Now, again, that's not to say Nintendo's a bad system or anything like that, but to say that Nintendo also Sony has is shooters is ridiculous. It's false, utterly false. This guy obviously doesn't play Sony. Ratchet and Clank is not a first-person shooter. Sly is not a first-person shooter. God of War ain't a third-person shooter. Last time I checked, Kratos doesn't need guns. All he does is takes his blades and cut the person's head off. I mean, you're telling me that's a first-person? That's what bothered me. I saw this guy. I'm going to say his name. I don't care. I'm going to call him out. I'm not afraid to call people out on their bullcrap. Okay. Not to say that this guy's an evil person and he doesn't make some legit points. I think he's right to say that you can't judge a game by graphics because there are a lot of games that have that graphics are very bad, but the gameplay is fun and addicting. I mean, for goodness sake, look at the pixelated graphics of what's the game? Minecraft. You know how many people play Minecraft? No one's talking about that. No one wants to play Wii Sports. Sorry. No one wants to play those games. Okay? And until Nintendo comes out with some new IPs and new hardcore exclusive games, no one's gonna buy Nintendo. Nobody. I'm not gonna buy Nintendo for one game. I'll probably borrow a Wii from my friend and buy Skyward Sword and play it. That's it. But again, I'm gonna re-say the point. To say that all Sony has is first-person shooters, two, that's it, that are exclusive. All the other games are on Xbox also. Resistance and Killzone 3. That's it. That's it. Does Nintendo have Little Big Planet? Over a million creative levels? No. Okay? Ultimately, the best system, I'm going to say right now, I mean, look, fact is fact. The best system out there right now is Sony. The PlayStation 3 is better than any of the other systems out there because it has exclusive games that people want to play. And that's why. Until Sony and Microsoft does the same, they're not even close to Sony. I'm sorry. I mean, Xbox has is Halo, Halo Anniversary, Halo 4. I mean, enough. New exclusives. I'm not saying that Sony doesn't rehash their exclusives. Of course they do. All the time. No one's saying they shouldn't make a second game. If it's a great game and it sells, people want another game. Yeah, of course. But they keep coming out with new games that people want to play. Alright, guys. Look, just Nintendo, what's his name? We Love Earl 7. I have no beef with you. I'm sure you're a decent guy. That comment is utterly false. Just look at the Sony lineup this year. I mean, Sly Cooper, Infamous 2, Ratchet and Clank, All for One, I think. Is that a first-person shooter? God of War 3, is that a first-person shooter? Really? That's exclusive. No other system has that. That's an exclusive PS3 title. Give me a break. Does Nintendo 3DS have HD graphics on par with the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360? No, they don't. Does Sony get to... I know this is getting long, but I just have to let this go, my friend. Sometimes you just got to let it out, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, are you guys going to be able to play Assassin's Creed? No. Are you going to be able to play Elder Scrolls Skyrim? No. Uncharted 3? No. You get my drift? You're not going to tell me that Wii fans don't... Nintendo fans don't want to play these games. These games are awesome. They're fun as hell. They're great games, great gameplay, and while we were playing Assassin's Creed 2, which in my mind, next to Mass Effect 2, is one of the best games I've ever played, this gen. I'm not saying ever. I mean, I don't know. But they were playing Mario, which they played over and over. Not to say Mario's a bad game. It's fun. I love Mario also. I mean, I think that's also a great game. But they didn't get to play Assassin's Creed 2. They didn't get to play any of those games. Nothing. And they're never, ever going to be able to play those games because they won't be released. Nope. You're not going to tell me they don't want to play those games. I'm not saying that because the game has cartoonish graphics, I mean, that the game's not good. I mean, there are multiple games out there that the graphics stink, but the gameplay is good. But I just think that a game has to hit it on all cylinders. You have to have the visuals, you have to have the gameplay, and you have to have the character development and the storyline. If all those things, and you have the flow of the game has to be good. It can't just be a repeat. I agree. I'm sick and tired of first-person shooters. But to say that Sony, all they have is first-person shooters, that is ridiculous. That is false. I mean, look at their lineup. Ratchet and Clank is not a first-person shooter. Sorry. Last time I checked. Okay? We love Earl 7. No beef with you. I'm sure you're a decent guy. Seems like you're a nice guy. You make legit points. The people that say because graphics are cartoonish makes it a bad game, I agree with you. They're ridiculous. They're not. I don't know if they're not gamers, but they don't understand gaming as much as me and you do, who grew up with gaming all our lives. I understand that, but don't say they're not gamers. They're casual. They're more hardcore gamers. They're a different type of gamers out there. They just don't. You can't say because. I mean, why would you have the motion control? I mean, why would you have the motion control with the exercise? Because they want to appeal to everybody. I think that's a good thing. I mean, some people don't want to buy the Wii or the PlayStation just for the move to be able to exercise. I think that's a great thing. But don't call them non-gamers. They just have different tastes. Some people like me, like every type of game. I like all type of games, as long as the game's fun and good to play. I don't care what it is. The graphics, I don't care. I'm playing God of War 2 and God of War 1, not nearly as good as any of the other games on the next-gen console. Not HD. I still play those games. Graphics aren't everything. I agree with you. But to say, again, and this will close, okay? I'm sorry, I promise you. To say that all Sony has is first-person shooters is just utterly and ridiculously false. Just go to your local GameStop store and look. We Love Roll 7, that is ridiculous. That's retarded. I had to call you out on that one. Okay? It's not true. And that's it. It's just retarded. I'm sorry. I gotta shut up. Alright, anyways, we Love Roll 7. No beef with you. I'm sure you're a decent guy, and I don't think you're a geek because you like cartoonish games. You enjoy it. You think the gameplay is fun. I respect you for that. Alright, I'll probably continue watching your videos because, I don't think you're a bad guy. I don't think Rios Macho Mustache you're the worst person on YouTube. I mean, I don't hate Massimo on any of the YouTube guys. I think all you guys bring, good content to YouTube, but come on, don't. I'm not gonna let you get away with a stupid comment like that. Come on. Alright, guys, take care. See you next time for the next God of War. I'm so used to saying it. See you the next time for the next Prince of Persia, part. Take care, guys. Toodles.